Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the penultimate round of Season 4 here in the MidWest F1 League, Division 2 specifically, and it's taking place at the infamous Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari here in Imola. This 4.9-kilometer circuit features 19 corners with 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Only one DRS zone, which is going to make up for most of the overtaking opportunities, but drivers need to be especially on their game mentally tonight to avoid track limits, penalties, collisions with other drivers, and especially their pit windows with this ridiculously long pit lane. And as it turns out, I forgot to see what tire compounds we're using for today, but that is the least important detail that we have, because as it stands right now, the top 8 drivers in the division sit within 100 points of each other, and as of right now, all 8 of them are in contention for the championship. And as far as constructors are concerned, Red Bull hold a 131-point lead over Williams in second, with the battle for third holding Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, and Mercedes all within 75 points of each other. This race has serious implications on the rest of the season, and not next week, because we have off next week for Thanksgiving, but the week after we go to the newly put in place Jeddah circuit that's just put into the game. And I tell you what, I'm not entirely sure how that one's going to play out. I think I don't very much hate on the organizers very often, but that was an interesting decision to have that track become part of the part of the schedule, never mind the championship deciding race. And it looks like we're going to get the AlphaTauri of Evil Prime out on circuit. Evil Prime, not one of those drivers I don't think that are in contention. No, I've only got the top 8 listed. That's all that really matter at this point in time. But only a couple driver changes tonight, as who do we have? 2 driver changes as Stat, who we can see right there. I've just filmed his Grill the Grid segment with. He takes over the McLaren of Lightwork as he reserves up in Division 1 yet again. And in the Haas, we have Ray 46, who stepped in. He takes over for Chief Braids. Chief Braids, not sure if he was out or reserving another division, but Ray 46 makes his return to Division 2. Now, Imola, I tell you what, a couple track facts for you here. The circuit's named after Ferrari's late founder Enzo and his son Dino, who died at the age of 24. Before that, it was just known as Autodromo Enzo Ferrari. Now, this track, when it was originally built, had no chicanes at all. As you can see, some of this track having a couple major chicanes that drivers need to pay close attention to today. The track held its first F1 Grand Prix in 1980, which was won by Nelson Piquet, and the track is infamous for the 1994 Grand Prix weekend, which claimed the lives of Roland Ratzenberger and 3-time world champion Ayrton Senna. This track certainly has a lot of history behind it. Not all of it is good, but here in Midwest F1, not a lot of history to be had. Which we can get more into that later, but Evil Prime starts his time lap down into Turn 1 into what is known as Tamburello. Not much to be had there. The gear changes on the circuit are going to be especially crucial, because if you're one of those drivers who, obviously it's not recommended to do on suggested gears, but if you are, this track does so many different gear changes, so many different things, depending on what tire compound you use as well. As you can see, Evil Prime had a little bit of difficulty with the Villeneuve chicane there, up out of Tosa and into Piratella right here. A very quick and fast corner this is, back down the hill into Acque Minerali. Some drivers take, this is really different for each driver, really. Up the hill again. Oh, what's happened to Dace? Dace has gone off. Let's skip real quick over to SC Smith. He's going through the Tamburello chicane right now. Dace has gone off right in the middle of the circuit. That's not what you want to see, and for the Williams, who, as I just mentioned, are within a very close margin on first place, that has serious implications on the Constructors' Championship, as well as the Drivers' Championship, as he is the driver in 8th position right now. Not that far behind whatsoever on points. Less than 100 points separate Dace from Niru Nix, our current point leader, and that's not what you need. However, Static Hazard with the fastest lap so far. We're going to pick it up here with SC Smith yet again, who's invalidated his lap, but you're going to come down this straight here, drop all the way down into, it's either second or third gear, really, into this corner. Some drivers like to upshift a little bit earlier to take this chicane, known as Alta chicane. Back down the hill and into turn 17 and 18, known as Rivaza. Pretty straightforward here, just really have to be wary of track limits on the outside of the corner, on the outside of turn 17, and on the outside of turn 18 as well. As not only track limits are there, but the gravel traps as well. As it looks like has Hightower gone off as well, or has he served a penalty? Not entirely sure, but here's SC Smith. He's looking like he's going to try another timed lap again. As it stands right now, stat is P1 with a 115.912 Fusex Rogue. Not that far behind, although he does have some work to be done there. Nearly 0.4 of a second off as here comes SC Smith through the Villeneuve chicane and into Toza. Evil Prime now goes provisional pole by 4/1000ths of a second over stat. It was a solid lap from Evil Prime. Something had happened to him on his previous lap attempt as Texas Speech then overtakes him, goes P1 himself by 0.9 of a second. And then Forza Juve, he then goes P2, about 0.5 of a second behind. Let's see what SC Smith has to offer here as he makes his way into the Alta chicane. Holds it pretty nicely there, maybe a little slower than most drivers would like. I do see the fuel indicator coming up on his screen, or on the telemetry. I don't know that word. Let's ignore that I said that. It's right there, telemetry. Oh, so it's pretty close. But he's going to stay out and try the lap anyways into the DRS zone across the paint, and he's going to go P6, 1.281 seconds off the pace at the moment. Not the best lap that he's capable of, but certainly not a bad one. Nicky64 making his way into the Rivazza chicane right now. Not chicane, the Rivazza group of corners right now, and I don't think he's going to be completing another time lap. He's not. Behind him, I believe, is going to be... Yep, this is Saffron City. I get to film my Grill the Grid segment with right after this race. Has yet to put in a time. Where's that going to put him? Has he invalidated his lap? No, he's 3.2 seconds off the pace. He is on the medium tire, however. If we look and see who's on what tire. Yeah, he's only one of 3 drivers to have done that. VTech, another one of those drivers who has... Something has happened to him. He's not attempted his lap. He's either not attempted or he's crashed. I'm not entirely sure what's happened. And according to Monkey Mafia, rain to start the race and then likely to go dry towards the end. So we are going to get a mess of tire strategies tonight. And I tell you what, if you're one of the top 8 drivers in the division, that's not necessarily what you wanted to hear. Next across the line looks to be the Haas of, that's SC Smith. I wonder if he's coming around to finish out his in-lap. That definitely looks to be what it is. It appears that a lot of drivers are struggling with that track limits violations that we talked about early on. Saffron City making his way down the hill into Rivazza, but as I was saying, so far no history to be had with Midwest F1 races. Only one sanctioned race has been held. Point sanctioned race was held, and it was yesterday in F2, where I claimed the feature race win. Second race, sprint race, didn't really go that well for me. I DNF'd pretty early on, just to my own goof. Here's Adol Tony going to go P12. Not what he needed. He's one of the drivers that sits outside of the top 8. The top 8, that's what we're focusing on. Those are the only drivers left in championship contention. Adol Tony, not one of those drivers. Doesn't seem like he's had a bad season, though. He's kept himself right in the mix. He's just barely out of it, that I will say. Not a lot of drivers on track right now. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers currently in the pits. We've only got 1, 2... Do the math on that. That's how many we got on track. Yeah, I don't think my math was entirely correct there, as some drivers are starting their outlap. We'll focus on Adol Tonian's time lap here as he heads down into Acqua Minerale, which apparently is called mineral water in the English. Interesting to name a corner off of mineral water, but that's what floats your boat, and so be it. But here's Adol Tonian down into the Rivazza group of corners right now. Let's see what he's got to offer. Doesn't look to be on a bad lap at this moment in time. Maybe a little bit slow. Could it possibly be an in-lap? No, he is actually going to be staying out and competing the lap. Maybe he had some sort of hiccup there. He's really not improved that much at all. Still 3 seconds off the pace. Next behind, I believe, is going to be the Mercedes. Yep, that's Forza Juve is going to be coming in. Oh, we had a card go off there somewhere. That's Puff Digital, who's gone around. on exit of Tamburello, spins it round, trying to get out of the way, because going through the Tamburello chicane there, you definitely need to take a lot of the curb going through that corner, and Puff Digital doing his best to get out of the way there. That was Forza Juve's coming into the pits now. Looks like Stats on a timed lap. There's the Alfa Romeo go off there. No, that's Monkey Mafia. Stat coming around the final corner now. We'll have to see if this is a timed lap or not, and it looks like it is. Not his best, that's for sure. Not going to improve whatsoever. Goes, I believe, in the 118s on that lap. I believe the Ferrari of Houdini just went P11 as it sits right now. Monkey Mafia looks, I think, is going to be starting an out lap starting a timed lap now, unless he's just had one. Yeah, his battery's at 76%. I think he's going to be making another attempt here. P7 currently, but P2 in the Drivers' Championship. 6:26 in Nero Nix's favor. 6:13 in Monkey Mafia's favor. Behind him, Tiger and Asgard 10 points behind at 6:03, and then behind him Detail at 5:92. Then it gets a little bit more spread out. Nicky 64 at 5:67, Houdini at 5:65, Hightower at 5:44, and Dace at 5:36. So if you're anybody of the bottom four, that's top 8 drivers, positions 5 through 8 there, you're definitely going to want to go. Monkey Mafia, I think he is on a lap here. Let's go check in with Detail at the moment. Currently P16. Oh, it looks like he's stalling that attempt. Stat comes across the line. No improvement to be had there. Next up is going to be the Ferrari of the Monkey Mafia, who's going to be coming in. Or that's the Alfa Romeo of Monkey Mafia, as well as the Ferrari of, I believe that's Houdini. Yep. Across the line now is the Alpha Tauri. I believe that's Evil Prime. Going to go down to 5th. And I believe that's SC Smith, who's bumped him out of the top 4. 0.3 of a second off the pace. About 5/100ths of a second between him and Stat. Not a bad lap at all there from SC Smith. Detail's going to be coming around very shortly. Here's Puff Digital exiting the corner, and he has invalidated his lap. Here comes Nero Nix, our championship leader, going to be starting his timed lap. Currently P9, not what he needs. Let's see how it goes here. We're going to stick along with him for now. Down the very long DRS straight into the Tamburello chicane. Why has VTech just asked if Nero Nix is Puerto Rican in the... I have no idea what that is. But Nero Nix goes purple sector 1 for some reason. VTech's got the night off from qualifying. Asks if Nero Nix is Puerto Rican. Not entirely sure what that has to do with anything, but Nero Nix purple sector 1. Here he goes into... this is Piratella corner. Down the hill into Aqua Minerale. Let's see how he handles this. This is going to be the... I think this corner is going to be the bane of a lot of people's existence tonight. Handles it well, though. Heading towards the Alta chicane. Purple sector 2 for our championship leader as well. Only 4 corners to go. 2 of which are hazards for exceeding track limits. Let's see what Nero Nix has got. Shifting down all the way into 3rd gear. Upshifts quickly. Stays through 4th. I think that maybe has cost him a little bit of time, although he's held it well, and it's going to be across the line, runs out of battery, goes P5. So he's lost some time. I'm assuming it's gone through the Alta chicane there, because he was purple sector 1 and sector 2, but ends up 0.7 off of pole position. Not a lot of time left in qualifying either. Let's go and check in with Detail, as he's going to go P7 himself, 1.18 off the pace. Not bad from Detail, but definitely capable of better. 10 to choose the medium tire, which I think is going to be small, not of a mistake, as text-to-speech goes 1:14.481. That is an absolutely massive lap and puts nearly a second back to SC Smith. Detail, no, that was his teammate of Forza Juve. He's just gone P2. Now only 0.43 off of the pace at the moment. Well, we have a mix-up there. That's in the Alta chicane. It's Houdini and Ray 46. I was concerned as I saw 2 cars very in close proximity there going through that chicane. As it turns out, they were just letting each other get through. I believe that's the Alpine of Text-to-Speech. No, that's the Alpine of Saffron City, who's on his outlap, just gone into the gravel. Hopefully he's not done in those tires all that much. Currently P14 on the fresh softs. Starts his timed lap. Behind him, the Ferrari of Houdini. And then the Haas of, I believe that's Ray 46. That is Ray 46. Let's stick along with him. Has yet to complete a timed lap, currently P16. Now, if your name is Dace right now, this is not what you need, as you're currently P17, and this track is a very hard one to overtake on, that's for sure. I think, though, as well as Hightower as well, I forgot about him. Hightower currently P7 in the Drivers' Championship, currently starting 18th. I will say, though, that could be a blessing in disguise. We've yet to really see a rain race on this circuit, other than in real F1, and we've seen how that can go horribly wrong sometimes. But here comes Ray 46, now he's going to get a really solid toe off the back of Houdini here. I don't think he's going to have to, I don't think Houdini's going to impede his lap either. Maybe a little squirrely through the Alta chicane there. Ray, he comes out okay, though, for the most part. This isn't going to be the best lap that Ray 46 is capable of. I think that Alta chicane has definitely cost him a little bit of time, but we'll have to see how it goes. We have a yellow flag back there. That looks to be the Alpha Tauri. Not quite sure who it is, but across the line was Ray 46, and he goes P13, 2.5 seconds off the pace. Not what he needed. Houdini back there in 12th. Alpine of Saffron City, who has invalidated his lap, currently P15, the slowest of the lot. Not what he needs. In is the Alfa Romeo, or Aston Martin, rather, of Adaltonian starting a timed lap. Remember, Aston Martin in a really tight battle for third, along with Alfa Romeo and Mercedes. 75 points separate those three teams. We do have a tire in the middle of the track. Interesting. Anyways. In the pits comes the Mercedes of Detail and or Forza Juve, either one. Next across the line is going to be the Alfa Romeo. This is Monkey Mafia making his way through Rivazza. Maybe a little bit slow through that section of the track. He's only P10. He's going to really have to improve. Let's see what he's got. No improvement there. 5.2 seconds off the pace. Maybe he just... something has happened there. Oh, what's happened to Detail? He's just retired in the pits. I suppose that's okay. Him and Nirunix both retiring, so as it stands right now, the Monkey Mafia is going to be the best out of the lot of the top three in the championship. Tiger NASCAR not here. Apparently, he's currently third in the championship, only 10 points behind. Yellow flag in Sector 1, as I think someone's just retiring from the session there. Not a lot of time left. Let's stick along with Monkey Mafia here. He's in the, he's really up to his neck. In the drivers still here, and he's invalidated his lap. Monkey Mafia, who I thought was on a really good lap, has invalidated. Hopefully it's not this and next. He's got 30 seconds to get back to the line and try it again. Surely he's going to be turning his energy store back up to none, I guess. I don't really know what to say about it. Although I do see the fuel indicator coming up. Has he done himself in with fuel? I don't think he's definitely not going to be able to get another attempt. If that's the end of it. Surely just invalidated this and next right there. We'll have to see if he makes another go. And no, it's going to be P12 for the Monkey Mafia. Not what he needed, as Nirunix, his main competition in Detail, not that far behind. P6 and P8. Next across the line is the Red Bull of Fuse Rogue, coming around turn 18 right now. Let's see what he's got. Doesn't look to be on a terrible lap. Actually, I'd say a pretty solid one. Across the line he goes, and he's going to go P2. 0.2 of a second separate him and Text-to-Speech. Very solid lap there. Here comes Adaltonian around turn 18 now. On his way to the pit straight, Adaltonian P10 as it stands. Behind him, the Ferrari of Houdini, who comes in. I believe Stat's on track. Stat's going to make one last attempt at a time lap, and Stat's going to go jump up one spot to P5. Behind him, Evil Prime goes 6th. Here's SC Smith, who has invalidated his lap, so it's going to be Text-to-Speech in the Alpine taking the top spot. Fuse Rogue in second in the Red Bull. Forza Juve third. Stat in fourth. So as it stands right now, it's Niru Nix. Niru Nix, at the moment, has the advantage of the championship drivers, with Detail not that far behind, and Monkey Mafia had a bit of a, I'd say, frustrating qualifying session. But not one of our remaining championship contenders are in a good spot to start this race, that's for sure. But Text-to-Speech taking pole position, Fuse Rogue in second, Forza Juve third, Stat fourth, SC Smith fifth, sixth is Evil Prime, seventh is Niru Nix, eighth is Nikki64, ninth is Detail, 10th is Adaltonian, 11th Houdini, 12th Monkey Mafia, 13th Puff Digital, 14th Ray 46, 15th is Saffron City, 16th VTech, 17th is Dace. And rounding out the field in P18 is Hightower 1984. It's been a tough session for our championship contenders. Let's see what the race has in store. So in relation to the Dace incident, apparently he tried to hang it relatively flat through the Tamburello chicane through turns 2 and 3 and kind of just binned it on his own. But I will tell you, it's definitely raining here at Imola, and we're definitely going to have a good race. And as we start our formation lap, remind you once again that every Midwest F1 League race is sponsored by... Oh, God, I hate this camera angle off the starting grid. That is just terrible. Anyways, it's sponsored by Raise Energy. Use code MWF1. And we already have Puff Digital, who's disqualified. Which basically all that means is that he's going to sit out this formation lap. But the important thing behind that is that doesn't warm up your tires any. And speaking of tires, this is going to be an important one. So let's assume that we were going to have a fully wet race, at least in this weather. Both the inters or the wets would be able to last the whole race. In fact, the inters would probably be better off as far as that goes. Obviously, it depends on the track surface, but the inters would definitely last the whole race, as you can see on the predicted pit stop strategy. And Puff Digital saying someone rear-ended him on this beginning of the formation lap. So let's say Monkey Mafia is right about there being a little bit of a dry spell towards the end of this race. How early or how late is it going to come? Because there is not a lot of wiggle room whatsoever on these soft tires. They only last about 11 to 14 laps in a fully dry race. You'd have to go beyond that to pull off the one-stopper. The mediums have a little bit more wiggle room between 14 and 18 laps, but I can tell you that the mediums are pretty much going to be faster at the end of their lives than the softs would be at the end of their life. So I think the mediums are definitely not out of the question here. Hards we won't need to worry about. Inters and wets, we won't need to worry about those either. However, man oh man, Niru Nix, Detail, Monkey Mafia, Houdini, all right there in the midfield. That's where these things typically start to go wrong. Dace and Hightower, P7 and P8 in the championship, currently P17 and 18 in the championship. However, they might have the benefit of coming away from it clean. I've got the last two division, I got the final two Division 2 races of the season, both this week, and then in 2 weeks at Jeddah. Very excited to make my return to this division. And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to write Midwest F1 history. Once again, for the second out of third time this season. As we have lights coming on. It's 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go here in Imola, and I think the Red Bull of Fuse Rogue got the best start out of that. Forza Juve not that far behind either, looking to the right side. Lots of commotion going on towards the back. We have a car off in the grass. I think that's the Aston Martin of Hightower. VTech has certainly fallen off the pace as well. Looks to be everything all safe for now, but VTech has lost some spots on the start of that. Fuse Rogue takes the lead. Forza Juve sticks to third, and I think for the time being, everybody has made it through clean. Let's see what it's going to be with track limits. There's the Haas of SC Smith getting into the gravel just a little bit there. He falls down to P7. Dace up to P16. Hightower made his way up to 14th on the start. Saffron City lost it down to 18th. So far, everybody has stayed pretty much within the spots they started in. But I tell you what, this is a very close race. Here's Evil Prime, not that far behind on Niru Nix here. Certainly has just picked up a track limits violation on, well, actually, they changed that rule. You get leniency on the first lap now. Niru Nix, he's made up 2 since the spot. Monkey Mafia, he's stayed stagnant. Detail, he stayed stagnant as well. Currently P9, started P9. Ray 46 leaves the session. Text-to-speech and Fuse Rogue very close together as they head through the Rivatsa couple of corners there. Text-to-speech gets lots of oversteer on exit of turn 18. To the line they go, and Fuse Rogue has the lead for now. Sets the fastest lap. He's going to lead lap number 1. Text-to-speech within half a second on the leader. This is going to come down to having an absolutely crystal clear perfection race, especially if you're one of those in the championship hunt. Some of those have already been caught out by a couple of the tricky spots on the circuit. But here's SC Smith to the gearbox of Evil Prime heading into the Villeneuve chicane. Evil Prime, I don't think, really got the line that he necessarily wanted. Takes it a little bit wider, maybe slower as well, than he would have wanted. SC Smith definitely capitalizing on that. Niru Nix has made up 2 spots since the start. He's up to P5, as we said. Text-to-speech. Still trying his best to keep up to the Red Bull of Fuse Rogue. Those Red Bulls have been dominant all season. Currently leading the championship point standings, however. Oh, and there he goes! Wow, and I couldn't have spoken a worse time, could I? As Fuse Rogue goes off on exit of the corner. Maybe did he just clip the grass or something? But the Red Bull of Fuse Rogue, who got a really solid start, has DNF 2 laps in, and it's been upgraded to a full safety car, and something's happened to Stat. On exit of the Alta chicane, Stat has gone off. 2 DNFs. And Stat was in a great spot as well. Man, oh man. Drama unfolding already. And I can tell you right now who that's helped out. Niru Nix has made his way up to 3rd. Evil Prime up to 4th. Detail up to 7th. Maybe stayed in 7th, not really quite sure what. Adaltonian, he's going to make his way in now, as well as Saffron City. Monkey Mafia, he's made his way up to 10th, although still has a lot of work to do. Hightower back there, P14, both the Aston Martins coming in. A wing change there for Adaltonian. And Fuse Rogue, according to him, his setup just didn't like the rain, as those are his words. Hightower making his way in, also repairing a front wing. 3 laps in, but I tell you what, the good news is, I don't think, as Stat leaves the session, I don't think the rain is going to get any heavier, and that's the important thing. I really want to see somewhat of a dry race here. So it looks like so far, really the only overtaking that's happening as Niru Nix nearly loses it under safety car, as we saw George Russell do back in 2020. But I think really the only overtaking that's really happened so far has been from others' mistakes, as we saw, I think the Haas of, it was either SC Smith or Ray 46, something happened there as we have Niru Nix reclaiming his 3rd spot here. Evil Prime then going under the grass. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. But as we said, I mean, this is going to be a track that those who make the fewest mistakes capitalize, and, well, that's exactly what's happened. Well, we're under safety car. Allow me a second to update our points here, I suppose. I've done myself a clever little coding job here. I can now get, I'd say, pretty much instant points. The only thing is I have to manually do it every time. We are going to have safety car for at least probably another lap here. Nicky 64, he's currently P6. Kind of forgot about Nicky, to be honest. He's in a really good spot. Detail, he's in P7 at the moment. Tiger NASCAR, I've got no idea what's happening with him. I'm going to add another row to this thing here, and I'm going to put Tiger NASCAR all the way back down at the bottom because I just simply have no idea what's happening with him. Monkey Mafia, he's back there in P10 at the moment as the field's slowly starting to get caught up with themselves. Niru Nix, he's currently third. Man, this is just such a... I'm starting to realize why I didn't do this before. It's slightly confusing, if I'm honest. So it looks like we're going to have safety car for at least one more lap as I try to work out our current point. So as the result stands right now, Niru Nix will go up from 626 to 694. Nikki 64 will go from 567 to 624. Detail will go from 592 to 646. Houdini will go from 565 up to 615. Monkey Mafia will go up to 653 from 613. Dace will go from 536 to 570. And then Hightower will go from 544 to 574. So as it stands right now, no change in the championship standings. So, everything has stayed the same so far. So we do have the Aston Martin, that's Hightower, coming in now, so he's down to P16 as he was before. So Nikki 64, Detail, and Houdini. P6, P7, P8. The Monkey Mafia, who's second in the championship, currently P10. Who at the moment would still have at least, I think, 7 points of a gap on second place. Now, safety car is in this lap, but as you notice, boys, it's suddenly a dry track. Has Hightower gone on to softs? No, he's stayed on the intermediates. This is going to be interesting here. I'm assuming that once the drivers come in, it's going to be a dash to the hard compound, as the rain has stopped. Who's going to be able to survive on somewhat lower grip here in the beginning of the restart here? Niru Nix, first in the championship, third in the race. Safety car has peeled off, and it's back to green here at Imola. Evil Prime not far behind Niru Nix. I think he's going to make the move. VTech comes in. I think he's coming in and putting on a fresh set of softs right now. Niru Nix all the way into the grass, heading into the Tamarilla chicane. Everybody's going to hold position for now. Oh, and that's, who's that? That's SC Smith in the Haas, loses a spot, goes across the grass, gets right in the way of Detail, and I think Detail has really suffered from that as well. Down to the inside goes Ray 46, makes the overtake happen. That's a beautiful move from Ray. Gets into the gravel but keeps the spot. And Ray 46 really lunged for that position. That could have ended in disaster for Detail. We do have a yellow flag that looks like that's the Alpha Tauri of Puff Digital. Something's happened with him. VTech has gone, and if we look at the tire compound, yep, so VTech has put on the hards. Back up the hill they go. We got a yellow flag that looks like Saffron City. Something has happened with him. He's gone off on entry to Ake Minerali. Side by side, here's Dace trying to go around the left side of Adeltonian, and he does. Nice move from him. I think he's going to invalidate track or exceed track limits there on exit. Nice move though. Brilliantly done there. Now, who's going to be the takers for the pit lane? And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Not 7. Ray 46 decided to stay out. He saw his teammate out in front of him. Ray 46 picks up the fastest lap. Who's going to be the beneficiary of the pit stops? Forza Juve, he puts on mediums. That are going to last the rest of the way. Text-to-speech goes on the hards. He's currently P3. He's got the Mercedes of Forza Juve behind him. Adeltonian, who's just stopped. Oh, has he got wing damage again? He looks to be struggling with his car. It doesn't appear to be, however. Definitely seems to be struggling. Ray 46 and Adeltonian out to a solid place right now. Hightower, who's only on 1 lap old intermediates, who I thought was going to come in for fresh softs. Maybe it was just somewhat of a mistake for him. Definitely could be leading this race right now, but I think it was just a manual error that's caused that. I mean, if we look at the tire compounds, the mediums, I mean, what do they last? 14 to 18 laps? I mean, so he's going to have to do 25. The mediums aren't going to last, folks. It's going to be a close one right down to the end. Here comes Hightower. Seems to be sliding off the circuit just a little bit. Text-to-speech. Going to get around the outside. And it looks like Niru Nick's in hot pursuit as well. Hightower seems to have kept the spot for now as they go through the Alta chicane. In comes Ray 46. Behind him shortly is definitely going to be the Aston Martin of Adeltonian. DRS is now enabled. Now we will start to see some of the overtaking that we were hoping for. Down the pit straight they go. In comes Hightower. He's certainly going to be fitting those softs. Well, not soft, but let's say mediums. So, this is interesting. The hards, indefinite. It's even a stretch for the hards. 23 laps are all the hards are supposed to be able to last. I think maybe that's what they were counting on. Maybe that's planned by these guys in the media. Maybe they knew that the hards weren't going to last the whole way. We do have it off, and that's Niru Nix. Niru Nix, the championship leader, bows out on lap 8. Goodness gracious, the implications this has on the championship is unbelievable. He's done it on the exits of the Tamburello chicane. And that'll be the end of the day for Niru Nix. Definitely not the mistake he needed. And another safety car. Unbelievable, guys. The championship leader, who only had a 13-point lead over Monkey Mafia, he's not going to get the points. He's not made it 90%, or whatever the rule is. Niru Nix suddenly is going to be on the back foot going into Jeddah. Thankfully, he's got 2 weeks to prepare. And I think everybody in the league's going to need those 2 weeks to prepare for this track. For Jeddah, that is. Don't get me wrong. But my, oh my. I mean, I honestly... That you can't make this up, guys. I don't get it. We're going to make another row as well for Niru Nix, who's not going to get points for this event. I mean, guys, this is unbelievable. As I once again try to redo the championship points tally while we're under safety car. Detail, he's where he should be. Houdini, he's down to P15. What's happened to Houdini? Not entirely sure what's happened with him, but Houdini back there in P15 at the moment. Hightower himself is up to 12th. Lucky Mafia, he's currently P8, although he is on those soft tires. Nicky 64, he's P5, so as it stands, Nicky 64 is currently The furthest, he is currently the highest driver in the remaining championship hopefuls on the grid at the moment. So if this result was to hold, Monkey Mafia would take the championship lead. Detail would sneak his way into second. Nicky 64 would be third at this moment in time. Nerud Nix would drop down to fourth. Tiger NASCAR to fifth. Houdini to sixth. Hightower to seventh. And Dace to eighth. That is your championship standings at this moment in time. You simply can't make things up like this. You simply can't make... You can't make it up, can you? Safety car in this lap. I still have no idea what's going to make of the tires. I mean, the lads on the softs are going to have to go 22 laps. That's impossible. The guys on the hards are going to have to go 22. I mean, thankfully they're under safety car. It's going to be easier for them. I mean, I still don't think the guys on the mediums are going to be able to make it. I don't think it's possible. They have to go 4 laps extra. But we're back under green. So at the moment, I would say text-to-speech, Ray 46, and VTEC have the advantage. However, right now, Forza Juve looking to the gearbox of text-to-speech as they head into the Tamburello chicane. Looks like Nicky 64 side by side with SC Smith. SC Smith makes his way up into fourth. Nice overtake there. Gets a little bit wide on exit, but nothing to be ashamed of. Monkey Mafia, this is a critical one, him in Detail. Not that far at all separated in this championship fight. P7 and P8. Nicky 64, I think right now, probably in the best spot. P5, 5/10 of a second behind SC Smith, however, he's on the medium tire. That's not going to help him. So we can definitely, absolutely count on the guys on the medium tire having to probably make at least one more stop. I don't want to make that assumption just yet. We never know. But from what it looks like, that's going to be the case. Forza Juve goes amazingly wide out of the Alta chicane, loses a second and a half to text-to-speech. Evil Prime now is in position to take the second spot from him. Not going to have DRS just yet. Here's the Monkey Mafia. Within 5/10 of a second on Detail. Once he gets DRS, I mean, it's probably going to be over, as a big degradation difference between these two tires. Chooses to slip out of the slipstream here. Detail falling closely behind a Ray 46 as they enter the Tamburello chicane. As we look up a little bit further, Nicky SC Smith within 4/10 of a second on Evil Prime. Nicky 64 not far behind either. It looks like for now, the battle for 6th between Ray 46, Detail, and Monkey Mafia, that's all been held at bay at the moment in time. Dace, he's up to 11th. Hightower, I think he's just been overtaken by Puff Digital for 12th. As they head through Aqua Minerale. Adaltonian's going to get around VTEC here. Has something potentially happened to VTEC? I remember he was pretty close to that battle not that long ago. We have a car going off, and that's Puff Digital who's gone around, and he's taken Saffron City with him. Not what you needed there for either of those two drivers. Puff Digital picking up a 5-second penalty for a severe collision. That's not what he needed whatsoever. Hopefully for now it's going to stay green flag. Doesn't appear to be any sort of debris on the circuit that would cause a virtual safety car here. DRS has been enabled. Not going to be activated until this next lap. But I think the Monkey Mafia, he's going to have to make his move shortly. His tires are definitely not going to last as long as the mediums for Detail. However, once Monkey Mafia switches over, as Dace, I think, just got past VTEC. Yes, he did. Nice overtake there from the Williams driver. But if you drive for Williams, this is going to be a great day. Oh, who's that that's gone off? That's Nicky64! The championship contenders, one at a time, something are happening to them. Absolute witchcraft happening here in Div 2. You can't make this up, guys. So many twists and turns to this story. And we've still got a race and a half left. Saffron City comes in and boxes Monkey Mafia now within 0.2 of a second on Detail. I feel like Monkey Mafia taking way too much time. He needs to make this happen. He's not going to have another chance once he eventually has to box for the medium compound. Evil Prime looks like he gets around SC Smith. Or it's vice versa, actually. SC Smith making his way up into third. It's a great battle here. Out of the Tamburello chicane. Looks like Monkey Mafia hasn't managed to get around Detail just yet as they head into Villeneuve. Evil Prime and SC Smith. We got a car off again that looks to be that's the Alpine of Saffron City. But so far, I mean... Oh! And there's SC Smith! Has he saved it? And he has! I mean, he saved it. Surely has wing damage. But that drops him down to fourth. Evil Prime moves up to third. Forza Juve stays in second. Evil Prime does have a penalty for exceeding track limits. Monkey Mafia still has yet to get around the Mercedes of Detail. Puff Digital's going to pick up 3 seconds. SC Smith goes off again. With the wing damage, I think he was just trying to get out of the way. And we have 3 drivers in contention for the championship. 5, 6, and 7. Detail trying to get around Ray 46. Monkey Mafia right there. Dace right there. Heading towards the Villeneuve chicane. Again, it's going to be based on the driver who makes the least amount of mistakes. I do think the mistake was made by Monkey Mafia to go onto the soft tire. For now, he's keeping up, but we know that the softs aren't going to last that much longer. They only last about 12 to... realistically, only 13 laps. Definitely at least 16 to do. And that's a Mercedes that's gone off. That's Forza Juve. Something's happened with the Mercedes driver. He's fallen from second, and he's going to continue falling here unless he can get up to speed. Ray 46 looks like he's going to be inheriting a podium position here unless Forza Juve stays up to speed. What's happened to him? Doesn't have wing damage. Maybe he's just span it round. Dace starting to fall off the back of this battle between Detail and Monkey Mafia. At the moment, text-to-speech still has the lead, still has, it's a 6.5 second gap nearly on the Alpha Tauri of Evil Prime. I still think the guys that chose the hards are on the best tire here. Ray 46 gets around Forza Juve. Maybe, as you can see now, the medium starting to fade away just a little bit as Forza Juve doesn't get the line through the Tamburello chicane and picks up 3 seconds. Monkey Mafia hasn't gotten around Detail. Nicky64 back down to P12. Hightower, he's up to P8. Solid for him. Dace, right there, P7. Monkey Mafia, he's down to P6. We have 8-0 Tony, and that's gone off in a full safety car yet again. In my struggle to get the points done here, at lap 16, as I said I was going to do, and now it's all going to mean nothing as cars come in. You have to be literally kidding me here. I mean, ugh. Well, prior to the safety car coming in, we had Nicky64, Detail, Monkey Mafia, Dace Hightower, and Houdini all right back to back to back to back to back. I think I got that right, but it's all for nothing now. But Monkey Mafia comes out. He's fit fresh mediums. The only championship contender at the moment to not fit fresh tires is Detail. 9-lap-old mediums. Remember, the mediums can do 18 laps, probably at their most. Nine laps old, definitely. 15 to go, I think, is what we're looking at the moment. Yeah, I think so. Detail's going to have to stop again, so that's not helped him any. Nicky64 has made an excellent recovery. He's up to P4, but has to box at least once more, probably. So, if I can get a chance to do this again, Monkey Mafia's good. In comes VTech. He's boxing? Yeah, that's probably the best choice at this point. Text-to-speech, he's not going to have to stop. Detail and Nicky are going to have to stop. Monkey Mafia up to 6th. Dace in 7th. Hightower moves up to 8. He's on fresh softs. I think he'll be able to make it to the end. It's not going to be exactly comfortable, but I think he can definitely do it. So before this next round of stops here, still a little while before the safety car comes in. Monkey Mafia, he's still P6. Ace Hightower, they've all stayed the same. Houdini's up to 9th. So before everybody pits again, as Saffron City picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, this is what the championship looks like right now, before what is assuming to be the next round of pit stops for both Detail and Nicky. Monkey Mafia, currently P6, goes up to 670 points. Detail would be 6 points behind at 664. Nicky right there as well, 635, not far off for him either. Behind him, Niru Nix at 626. 610 would be the outcome for Houdini. Tiger NASCAR, I'm not really sure if he's reserved up or something. I'm sure those points are going to work themselves into play as well. Hightower at 594 and Dace at 590. So before this next round of pit stops, it's a 6-point gap for the championship. And it's only... Nicky 64 is not far out of that as well, let's not forget. But I hate to say it, at this moment in time, it looks as if Niru Nix, his championship hopes, I don't want to say they're over, but he's just had a lot more work to do, and a lot more luck to be involved. Lap 19 of 32. Safety car probably going to be in this lap, considering Puff Digital, he is quite far behind, but I really hope that the game doesn't make them do another lap under safety car. Safety car is going to be in this lap. Once again, Detail and Nikki probably still need to pit. Although at this rate, they'll have a safety car to do so, and everything will be handy-dandy. Text-to-speech, he'll be able to make it to the end, but I'm not sure what the tire lives are going to look like towards the ends. Because the current drivers on the mediums will be getting towards the end of their tire life. The drivers on the hards will be pretty much there as well. I mean, this is confusing, man. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But we're back to green flag on the circuit. Text-to-speech leads them across the line. It looks like Detail. He's hungry. Filing right in behind Text-to-speech, using as much as the slipstream as he can. Down into the Tamburello chicane. Detail, I'm going to be honest, looked a bit slow through that section of the track, but he's kept it clean for now. Here's Forza Juve down the inside of Ray 46. Backs out of it before heading into the Villeneuve chicane. Monkey Mafia right in this as well. Forza Juve back to the outside. It's going to be side by side. Going through, oh god, what corner is this? Toza. Side by side between Forza Juve and Ray 46 as they head towards Piratella corner. Who's going to back out? And it looks like Ray 46 is going to keep it clean there, keep it safe at least. That's going to open the door for Monkey Mafia. Through Aqua Minerale. Ray 46, I believe, looks like he disconnects once again, and Monkey Mafia is going to sweep down to the inside, side by side between these two drivers. Migrating. Oh no, Monkey Mafia has left the session. Oh no. Oh no. What has happened, guys? Oh, for sakes. Oh no. Join the thing. Ugh, that scared me quite a lot. Good gracious. Oh, Jesus. You can't make this up, guys. This is ridiculous. Although I'm back, here we are. So right in the middle of an intense battle, here's Nikki 64, Ray 46 right there, P5, P4. Dace has made his way up to 4th, Detail up to 3rd, but he's under pressure. Forza Juve under pressure from his teammate. Let me get everything back set up here, but we're joined in the middle of an intense battle. Maybe Ray's Energy wanted a commercial break. I'm not entirely sure what's happened. Adeltonian, VTech gets around Monkey Mafia there. It looks like Monkey Mafia's gone off into the gravel. Definitely doesn't have any damage, but something's happened there. There goes Puff Digital off the pace. Saffron City into the pit, but meanwhile, Text-to-Speech has an incredible lead over Forza Juve. Right behind is his teammate Detail. He's under pressure from Dace. Once again, Detail is probably going to have to stop here. Not a lot of time left. Monkey Mafia down to P10. Nikki 64 in 5th. Remember, he's one of those drivers that is going to need to pit again. Dace in 4th. As the server picks up on itself once again, it's a very tight battle, I will say. Here comes Ray 46, making his way around the right-hand side of Nikki 64 on the much fresher medium tires, and he's going to make the overtake stick. Nicely done there from the Haas driver. SC Smith sets the fastest lap on the 117.141. Really, really solid from him. Dace still doing everything he can to get to Detail. Very much, hopefully, does my internet not crap out again. I mean, that was just unprecedented. Dace right to the back of Detail. Nikki 64's right there as well. Monkey Mafia has fallen off. He's back down to P10. That's not going to help him on points whatsoever. Here comes Dace, round the right-hand side on Detail. Major implications in the championship, and Dace gets it for now, heading into the Alta chicane. I think Dace knows that he's going to have to pit very shortly here. Really only 2 or 3 laps left on those medium tires, him and Nikki 64 for that matter. Text-to-speech, I mean, that gap isn't really doing much, but there goes Dace, a 3-second time penalty. Let me take 1 second to make sure all my recording equipment's up to snuff here, and then we'll get right back to it. Second, I choose to leave and come back. Saffron City has DNF'd, heading through the Villeneuve chicane, and it's a safety car with absolutely nothing in it then. This is unbelievable, guys. Evil Prime's got 6 seconds of penalty. Dace has 3 seconds. This, I tell you what, this is going to help most is Detail and Nikki 64. These drivers, I'm sure a lot of these cars are going to be pitting very shortly. Text-to-speech, I think, is definitely going to be one of them. Going to be a bit silly not to. But who are going to be the drivers to pit? Who are going to be the drivers to stay out? I would assume the drivers that are currently on that somewhat decently fresh medium tire are going to stay out. In comes Text-to-speech. Forza Juve, he's going to come in as well. We'll have to see what Dace does. Dace, he will stay out. Detail comes in. Ray 46, he's going to take the bollard with him, but he's going to come in. Very indecisive there from Ray 46. He chooses to come in. Evil Prime comes in. Nikki 64 comes in. Hightower comes in. Houdini comes in. SC Smith comes in. Monkey Mafia stays out. Good God Almighty, this is an entertaining affair here in Division 2. Text-to-speech falls to 4th. VTech up to 2nd, currently the freshest tires out of the top 3. Although, if your name is Dace, Monkey, or Monkey Mafia, or VTech for that matter, throw them in there as well, you are in a world of hurt right now, as everyone and their mother besides Ray 46 has fit the soft tires. And with only 6 laps to be had on the soft tires, they're going to be nowhere near the end of their tire lives. 6 laps left for the mediums, I mean, that'll put them at 14. That's at the beginning of the end of their tire lives. Man. There's just so many twists and turns to this championship battle. It's just craziness. Absolute craziness. But it's a beautiful chaos that Division 2 has given to a championship battle once again this season. Last season between Will Ans and formerly Uncle Ben's Rice. Uncle Ben had a serious incident in Brazil, pretty much dashed his title hopes away. And that one came down to the wire, but with the constructors, it was even more. It was even more pretentious and exciting as... I didn't use the word pretentious right there, didn't I? But it was even more exciting as AlphaTauri won the championship by 1 singular point as SC Smith gets a 5-second penalty for a collision with Houdini. Man, oh man, and Houdini, for good measure, picks up 5 seconds for ignoring the yellow flag, whatever that means. Let's take a look at penalties. Dace has 3 seconds. So Dace, at the moment, Dace and Houdini are the only title contenders at this point in time that have time penalties. Detail is clean. Monkey Mafia is clean. Nikki 64 is clean. Hightower's fine. Niru Nix, I think, is definitely the surprise of the day. Oh, what's that? That's the AlphaTauri. That's Evil Prime, who is just taking a little stroll through the grass there. No harm, no foul. Safety car to be in this lap. It's going to be 5 laps to go when we come to the stripe. Dace leading the field. His championship hopes are in the palm of his hands right now. And it's all underway. Monkey Mafia, he's looking to the back of VTech, heading into the Tamburello chicane. He's going to look low, but I don't think he's going to have anything there for now. Text-to-speech, he wants around the right side of Monkey Mafia, nothing there. Forza Juve, he's right in this as well. Detail may have made a mistake. He's slowly starting to fall back. Monkey Mafia is going to have to do some serious damage control here. He's on the really old medium tire. All these guys on the softs are going to be much faster than him. Here comes text-to-speech. He looks for it. Monkey Mafia, he's just going to pull to the side. He knows he's been outpaced right now, and he's going to let them fight for the position. Although Monkey Mafia, I'm sure, would have, probably the better idea would have been to fight for that position. Meanwhile, Dace opens up a 1.5-second gap back to VTech, although he does have the 3-second time penalty. Nicky64, he's down to 8th. He's got Evil Prime in front of him. He's going to look to the right side, heading into the Alta chicane. Nothing going to be there for now. I still think Detail's going to be the best one out of this. Dace still has the time penalty. It's side by side between Text-to-Speech and VTech going into, what is this? The Rivazza corner. Forza Juve down to the inside on VTech. The Mercedes going to retake the 3rd spot, although he does have the time penalty. 3 seconds to his name as well. Monkey Mafia could just escape with a podium anyways, but the big question is going to be Detail. Can he get to the back of Monkey Mafia before time runs out and secure those ever-crucial points? Monkey Mafia's got VTech in his sights. He let him go by on the first go-through Toza corner. Monkey Mafia definitely looks to be, I hate to say it, hurting for pace right now. Houdini stayed stagnant back in 11th. Hightower, he's in 9th. Nicky64's in 8th. Text-to-speech within 0.5 of a second on Dace. And if you look at the gap back to the leader, so right now, as it stands, Dace would take 3rd. Houdini, he falls back to 12th. So Dace would fall to 3rd as it stands. Forza Juve, he'd fall down to about 5th. Monkey Mafia would jump up to 4th. VTech would be on the podium. Well, no, I'm actually wrong about that. Text-to-speech, he's going to look to the left side on Dace, and he gets the spot. He didn't even have DRS to do it. That was a beautiful move. Detail and Monkey Mafia side by side. Detail's going to go around the left and get the spot. Heading into the Tamburello chicane. Nicely done there from Detail, but the crucial thing is now, he cannot make a mistake with time penalties. That's not what he needs. Evil Prime, he's going to get around Monkey Mafia as well. Then I think Nicky64 does as well. He's on the inside. Monkey Mafia losing spots left and right. In comes Hightower as well. Gonna try the right, switches back to the left. And Hightower's gonna take the spot. Monkey Mafia just lost at least 3 spots in Sector 1 alone. Ray 46, he spins around, going through the... what chicane is that? Going through the Villeneuve chicane. Down there in P13. The Monkey Mafia then picks up 3 seconds just for good measure. Forza Juve to 3rd. Has it for now. Dace down to 2nd. Look at the gap back to the leader. VTech has a 6-second gap back on the leader. Text-to-speech set the fastest lap. Yellow flag in Sector 2. That's Ray 46 yet again. There's 3 laps to go this time by. Monkey Mafia down again. It's P12 for him as Puff Digital's going to take him. Here comes Detail around the left side of VTech as they head into the Tamburello chicane. Detail, I think, is going to have to be driver of the day here. As far as that goes, SC Smith picks up 3 seconds. Dace has done a good job, and he's holding on to it for now, but the problem is going to be on those time penalties that they have accumulated. The gap from Forza Juve to Detail is about 4 seconds right now. Forza Juve, I don't think, is in the hunt for the championship at this point in time. Do you think that maybe potentially a driver switch is in order? Team orders definitely shouldn't happen in this part of the world, but I think that's probably what should be as Ray 46 goes and retires from the session. Detail, I think, had a bit of a slow exit to the Alta chicane and round the Rivazza corners for the second to last time. It's text-to-speech starting the final lap of the Grand Prix. Dace not that far behind, 2.5 seconds behind. Forza Juve right behind him. Detail not that far behind either. Can Detail get on the podium? Forza Juve and Dace right at it here. This is important for Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. Williams has implications on this as well. VTech drops to 6th. He's been overtaken by Evil Prime. Detail 4th, Forza Juve 3rd. If Detail gets a spot, or if Detail, Forza Juve gets the spot around Dace, that's going to be huge. VTech drops down to 8th. Monkey Mafia currently the tail end of the field, P12. Making his way into the Alta chicane is text-to-speech for the final time. No time penalty to be had there. The gap to the leader, Forza Juve's got 3 seconds. It's a 5-second gap between the Mercedes teammates. I think everything's going to stay the same as it is for now. More importantly, it's text-to-speech taking the inaugural Emilia-Romagna, I think the name is, Grand Prix here at Imola. Dace crosses the line 2nd. Forza Juve crosses it 3rd. But the biggest news of the day, Detail crosses the line P4. Nicky goes 5th. Hightower in 7th. Evil Prime in 8th. SC Smith in 9th. Houdini 10th. Puff Digital 11th. And rounding the corner for the final time is Monkey Mafia, who for the majority of the race was the title favorite. Finishes P12. Good God almighty, it's amazing. Dace finishing 2nd, picks up driver of the day. So let's look at our final results now. Text-to-speech in 1st. Dace finishes 2nd. Forza Juve 3rd. Detail 4th. Nicky 64 in 5th. VTech 6th. 7th is Hightower. 8th Evil Prime. 9th SC Smith. 10th is Houdini. 11th is Monkey Mafia. 12th is Puff Digital. It says Ray 46 finished 13th. But those are the end of the classified drivers, and let's get to those interviews right now. I am here with 2 out of our 3 podium finishers, text-to-speech and Dace, but before we do that, let's go over the preliminary point standings as it stands right now. Detail has taken over the points lead, sitting at 656, of course, before any steward's report gets filed, everything before that. Detail in 1st with 656. 2nd goes to Monkey Mafia, only 5 points behind at 651 in 2nd. 3rd, currently Nicky 64 with 627, not far behind either. Niru Nix only behind 1 point in 4th at 626. Dace, I think you move up into 5th at 608. Tiger NASCAR, I've got no idea what's happened with him. Didn't even join the race, so forget about that. Hightower 7th, but I think the key storyline for this race definitely has to be Nero Nix, who had I wouldn't say a clear advantage, but a pretty solid one heading into this race. But that's kind of what happens when all the drivers start towards the middle of the field in Dace. That's exactly what happened for you. The qualifying, definitely, I think you could have done better, but, you know, midfield, that's definitely a risky place to be, but you pulled through and you got P2 out of that. Congratulations. How do you think you handled this race today?
I honestly did everything wrong. I bottled quali just because I didn't want to let go of the lap and just start a new one, so that was stupid on my part. And then back of the grid, I was trying my best to be patient, and it was just really hard, and I ended up getting damaged a couple times, but somehow I made it all the way back up there.
And I tell you what, it was an
safety cars gave me some luck.
Yeah, I was about to say, that safety car came into play a couple times there, and you did really well to hold yourself in the position that you had. Well, next week we're off for Thanksgiving, and then we head to Jeddah. Are you one of the drivers that's going to be thankful that you have an extra week to prepare for this next track coming up, the season finale?
I think if we had it next week, I'd be fine. I've done quite a few, like 5-lap races in qualifying, so I'm pretty, confident there so far.
Well, I tell you what, Dace, you pulled off an absolutely amazing drive, and I think you're also still in contention for this championship as it stands. Yep, I think with a bit of luck, it could be. It definitely still is possible heading into our final round. Congratulations on it. It was an absolutely brilliant drive to watch. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
On to text-to-speech, man. I tell you what, there was a couple times I thought you had it absolutely correctly with the tire strategy, staying on the hards, that first safety car, although it could have been a little bit of a risk, but then you made the decision to come in onto that final safety car, and that pretty much sealed up your race. Surely you had to be under a decent amount of stress there through that.
Oh yeah, my heart was pounding those last few laps, because this track is just where there's so many corners where it's so easy to just lose the rear, and then boom, your race is gone. I mean, we had like 12 finishers after all, but I just held it together. I think I had a little moment on one of the laps, but still keeping it together. And pit strategy was interesting to say the least with the safety cars. I think that last one, it was pretty clear to come in. I remember in Portugal, it was a pretty similar, if not identical, situation. It was like 5 laps to go or something, and pretty much everyone came in. Pretty clear call there, and overtakes were smooth like butter. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and I tell you what, oh goodness me, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I was about to say, it was one of those races that, I said this at the beginning of the race as well, it was going to come down to who made the least amount of mistakes, and that was definitely you today. Nicely done, and, well, as I said before, we head into Jeddah in 2 weeks. That's a track where mistakes are definitely possible, and a track that's, I think we might see a lot of people struggle with. But how do you think you're going to do coming into this final round?
You know, I don't have too much practice with it. I think time will tell if I can get a setup together at all. Yeah, practice makes perfect. That's what they say. So I think the extra week off is going to really fit me in this. New tracks, obviously, new to learn, gotta adjust everything, but yeah.
Well, the old adage goes that Div 2, it's the division that never disappoints, and that was surely the case today. There were so many twists and turns to this championship story, it's almost hard to keep up with, but it all comes to a conclusion in 2 weeks when we head to Jeddah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to the podium sitters for joining us, and we will see you very soon. Happy Thanksgiving in advance as well.